most likely aren't familiar with Roborock, but it's a company that's actually backed by Xiaomi, and they make smart vacuums. This is the Roborock S5, and we'll be taking a look at top of the line unit, doing a quick unboxing and giving you some first impressions and hands-on experience with the unit. So let's take a look at what comes inside the box. We have the Roborock S5, the infrared dock charger, and the attachment mat itself, a 2-prong cable, the mopping module, which also has a water tank, additional filter, manuals, and a filter element for the mopping module. Now, as far as the exterior goes, there is the top portion here, which does have the spot cleanup button, the clean/power button, and the dock button. Now, when you hit the spot cleanup, it'll spot clean. And when you hold down the power button, it will turn it on and off. When you press the power button, it will start cleaning. So when you see the button illuminated in white, that means you are in excess of 50% battery. When you see it in red, that means it is under 20%. When it is breathing, that means it is charging or turning on. And when you see a flashing red button, you will know that there's an error. As you can imagine, there are quite a bit of sensors on a smart vacuum, and according to Roborock, there are 13 types of sensors for this unit itself. On the front, there is the recharge sensor, and this allows it to detect the dock and properly seat itself in to get a proper charge. Now on the side, there is a wall sensor, and this allows the vacuum to get as close as possible to the walls to vacuum and clean up any kind of debris. According to the Roborock website, it is around 10 millimeters that is maintained while it is doing its cleanup. On the top of the unit, there is an LDS or laser distance sensor that allows the unit to map out a room. And just like any other vacuum, the Roborock S5 does have a dustbin, and that is located underneath the cover, as you can see here. And this can be easily removed to empty out the bin or gain access to the filter. This filter can be removed and washed. And if you choose to do so, you can also purchase additional filters for replacement. You can see the opening on the bottom of the unit itself, and this is where trash is collected and tossed into the bin. Now there also is a cleaning tool, and this will allow you to maintain the brushes on the bottom just in case it gets tangled in any kind of a string, hair, or anything else that might cause it to jam up the brushes on the underside. So that was the top end of the Roborock S5. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom end and what makes this thing work. So as you might expect, the bottom portion houses a lot of what makes this work, like the brushes, the wheels, and also additional sensors. You can see right here that there are quite a few, like the odometer on the wheels itself. There are more collision sensors on the front. There is also a cliff sensor, as well as a gyroscope accelerometer, and also an electric compass. Now here we can see the side brush that allows it to pick up debris in tight corners, and the omnidirectional wheel that allows the vacuum to rotate freely while it is doing its duties. Here we can see the floating main brush, and as the name indicates, the brush does float up and down to conform with different types of surfaces so that it can provide a thorough cleaning no matter what type of surface you're rolling on. Here we can see the brush being replaced simply by removing the plastic protective cover. Now the first time you plan to use the actual unit itself, you will have to place it on the dock and press the power button. And at that point, it will indicate that it is charging with a large audible tone.
Charging.
So at this point, you'll want to connect the Roborock S5 with the app called Mi Home, and this is available for iOS and Android. You will have to create an account, or if you already have an existing one, you can log into that. Once you sign in, you'll be greeted with the interface that you see here on the screen. Now, this is a generic app for different types of smart products, so you will have to select what type of product that you'll be using. Now, as you can see here, it does indicate to open up the front cover of the Roborock and look for a blue blinking light. Once you connect the unit to your Wi-Fi, it will begin updating the unit. And as you can see here, it goes along fairly smoothly. The process will probably take anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes depending on your network speed. Now, after everything's set up, it will allow you to choose a location where you will be vacuuming. This is all optional. You can skip this. It is something that allows you to organize your rooms a little bit better. Once you get through this setup, you'll be greeted with the actual Me interface and will be asked to activate your microphones on your device and also update the firmware of the unit itself. So updates can be pushed out to the smart vacuum to improve the performance of the unit or even add features. Now again, this update process will depend on your network speed, but for myself, it probably took anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. So after successfully completing, you'll be able to set up the unit. And here it gives you a little tutorial or video guide on how to actually set up the Roborock. If you did not read the instructions in the manual, you will have to agree to some terms and conditions, and you'll then navigate into the main menu, which has the options on the bottom here: Go, Dock, Clean, or Zone Clean. Once you vacuum for the first time, the top portion will populate a map of your home. As you can see right there, there is a yellow dot indicating where the vacuum is now. And this is a look at the settings menu. So you can see in the vacuum settings, you can choose to have a map saving mode, and this will map out your home. You can change the time zone, the volume setting of the actual tones and voices that come from the unit. There is also a cleanup mode that gives you options for different types of suction. If you don't like the default voice, you can also download different voice packs. Now that everything is set up, it's just a matter of putting this thing on the floor, pressing the cleanup button, and allowing it to do its thing. So I've been using this vacuum for maybe about a week or two, and as you can see in the app, it has mapped out my home and the areas that it vacuums the most frequently. So for the sake of this video, I'll be vacuuming the top of the table. It'll give you an idea of how all the sensors work when in action. You'll see that the vacuum will find the whole surface of the table, vacuum the whole thing, and do so while not falling off the edge. And you'll also be able to hear how it sounds as well. So I'll stay quiet for this portion, and a warning to headphone users because this might be a little bit loud. So now we'll just go ahead and see it clean some particles, some fine, medium, and large chunks. And this should give you a general idea of how much suction there is and how well it works when it deals with finer grains, medium-sized grains, and also larger pieces. So you can see the results there of what it can accomplish. With the mop attachment, it'll moisten the ground and clean it up. As far as for the few weeks that I've used it and what I think it's a pretty good unit. It's a nice, convenient thing to have. It isn't necessary, but it is nice to be able to just press a button and have your whole house vacuumed. Now the Roborock S5 does retail for $599, so that is something that you'll have to think about. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.